There was one teacher, he had many students, and his teaching was only this: keep your mirror always bright, shining. Let no dust alight on it. This was the teaching, and of course everybody likes it. Let no thought alight on your mind. Your mind has to be as clear as the mirror. So he was having many students, practicing, meditating always, that no thought is there on the mind. Meditation. So some people were coming to him. We are coming from such and such teacher who is about 200 miles away from this. But he doesn't teach. He doesn't teach this to clean your mind of your thoughts. So this master thinks, what could be a teaching which is not clean as mirror, where the mind is not clean? And they say he doesn't give any teaching at all. So this teacher sent one of his very sharp, bright student, you go and don't tell that you are from this mountain. Simply sit, watch. What is his teaching? Come back soon. So this man goes there, sits quiet, and some people who had been to his teacher saw him there, and the master asked, are you from such and such teacher? Yes, sir, I am. Then you are a CIA agent of your teacher. Aren't you? He says, yes, I was. I came with this intention to steal your teaching and tell it to my master, but I am no more a CIA agent. Now, being here with you, seeing the no teaching, I am your student. I am your student. And I am not going back. Then he says, no, your teacher has sent you on this mission. You go and tell him what is happening here. And you have to be obedient. Your teacher has told you to do something, don't ignore. So he prostrated before his teacher, goes back. He says, I have been there and there's no set teaching there. Clean always the mirror every day, have your brush in hand and go on cleaning the mirror. Nothing is done there. But people are getting wonderful results there. So he says, sir, it is good for you to make a visit to this teacher. So the teachers are mostly very arrogant, egoistic. Even seeing their shallowness, they cannot accept the real teaching from any other man. And they deceive and cheat themselves, also their students. But he was somehow a wise person. So he goes himself and prostrates before this teacher, and all the students followed him, sat quiet in front of him, and this find now that the master doesn't speak of anything, neither the mirror, nor the dust, nor the brush. So these things, talking of mirror, talking of cleaning, talking of brushing, is also mind. You are not to speak of it. So everybody stayed there, you see. So what is being expressed in different ways is the same thing, you see. Let there be no mirror in your hand at all. Then you are free. You have got nothing to do. Simply watch the mind, activities of the mind, and keep quiet. I remember another story. It was of Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma, the first person who went to China to preach Buddhism. He goes to China at the age of 80 years. You see, his age was 80 years, crossed over the Himalayas, gone there, and saw the Emperor of China, you see. And they conversed together. The Emperor says, I have built monasteries, and also I have made bridges over the rivers to cross over, the wells to drink water, and dharamsalas to stay for the people, and I'm specially taking care of the monks' requirement to supply them food, give them clothes, give them necessary money to travel. So he says, what is the merit of these things I will acquire? He said, no merit. No merit, he says, of course no merit. This is not the merit. Then this is prescribed in the books. You have got to do all these things, and then you will go to heaven. He says, yes, there may be merits in the books, but it is not for you. It is not, it may be dharma, but it is not freedom. It will not give you freedom. Any charities, all these providing dharamsalas for the shelter, bridges over the rivers, may be good for others. What about you? So the emperor was baffled, you see. Then what is the teaching? What this man has brought from the West? Who is this? What is speaking? So this man, Bodhidharma, was a king of South, Kanchipuram. And he himself was a king. So he used to live in a boat, in a river, you see that. The emperor says, anyway, I was not satisfied, but let me go and see him. He was in the boat. The emperor goes to meet him. He kept one foot in the boat, one was on the bank of the river. So this man wakes up, got up to receive His Majesty. And he has an oar in his hand. And with the oar, he pushed the emperor into the waters. That's all he did. one foot in the boat, one foot on this thing, and pushed with the oar, king fell into the water. That's all. He was enlightened. What brought him this freedom? You have to calculate yourself. He couldn't hold anything. There was no mistake. He simply pushed. But I think at that time when he was pushed, first of all, he got a kick on his majesty, his arrogance and ego. That is gone. And he is hanging, he's been thrown. No reason. And when there's no reason at all, there's no understanding, this is the point, you are free. As Chantal says, when I woke up, I uttered Dalia, Dalia, Dalia. Yeah, how happened? So this man converted the whole country into Buddhism. Yeah. So when there's no thought in the mind, no thought to think, even of freedom. He came for freedom, but no talk of freedom. Simply pushed away into the water. He got free. So this is called freedom. Freedom needs no process, no method, nothing it needs. Freedom is free of all these methods. And if you go on wasting your life, your time, meditating on the tops of the mountain, you are simply living on the tops of the mountain, and on the top of the mountain, many Sherpas have visited. And Captain Hillary also has visited it. And yet they are not enlightened. People spend their lives in the caves, but wolves also live in the caves. So the cave is not going to give you freedom. So when you have no thought in the mind, this is called freedom.